Thank you, Chairman and Chairwoman and Ranking Member Lukemeyer. I just want to say thank you, Mr. Ware, for taking your time for being here. And we're really grateful for your work and what you're doing and exposing some of the issues we've had with the Small Business Administration and how to improve it and make it more friendly to our business community. As a small business owner, we're greatly appreciate that. And we know that they've struggled at times, and that's one of the reasons that I actually partnered with Senator Lee to introduce the Transparency in COVID-19 Expenditures Act. And only through the full audit of COVID-19 emergency programs can we really ensure that these mistakes aren't made again, and we appreciate your effort in trying to get these reports out. We do know that SBA has failed to respond to a lot of these policies that you've set forth in your reports, which are, highlighting where we need to move them. And we, as my colleague, Mr. Garbarino, said, we want to make sure that we push them in the right direction. I want to specifically first get into an issue that I had with Administrator Guzman when she was here in November. And she said she was unaware, and I tried every angle on this question to her, that SBA was illegally providing millions of dollars in Paycheck Protection Program loans to multiple Planned Parenthood affiliates, including a $10 million PPP loan for Planned Parenthood of Greater New York. And as you're aware, it's illegal for these federal funds to be used for abortion, and all applicants for PPP must abide by the rules and the size standards. And since Planned Parenthood has over 16,000 employees nationwide, they are ineligible. Have you provided information about the paycheck protection loans to Planned Parenthood to Administrator Guzman? Is she aware of these as far as you know, or have you provided her with this information?
I have not personally provided information on Planned Parenthood to the administrator. I believe, I hope that the committee knows that we have kicked off a job that looks into eligibility of nonprofits that will deal with affiliation and size standards, and Planned Parenthood is a part of that. So we do have a body of work that's going on right now that addresses it. As a matter of fact, it came as a request, I believe, from the Senate, the Small Business Committee.
Right. So are you aware of loans that were made to Planned Parenthood?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And do you know if those loans were made, if that was Administrator Guzman was aware of that, and if those loans were forgiven?
No, I don't know either of the two right now off the cuff. Like I said, the work is ongoing.
Right.
When the team briefs me, I will know.
Does Administrator Guzman have access to this information, whether the top line numbers? Does she know? Does she have access to see this information anywhere as the rest of us would?
I can't say definitively that she does. I would guess so.
Do you recommend that SBA change any of its internal controls or anything to make sure that these types of loans, illegal loans that violate either constitutional provisions or the provisions of the PPP program, to ensure that SBA does not give these out in the future? That's something that I think that through your Inspector General role, you could do that as far as recommendations to the administrator.
I believe that recommendations will be forthcoming at the conclusion of our review.
Have there been any?
The review is ongoing.
Okay, if it's ongoing, have there been any preliminary information given to Administrator Guzman? So if she came in to testify next week, for example, she denied knowing of any of these, and as the administrator, I found that quite startling. But would she be aware of those now, since it's an ongoing production of information?
I have not received an update myself from the audit staff as to where we are on this assignment. So I don't have something to provide to the administrator currently.
So nothing's uploaded on any website, or no information is in the public domain on this issue, other than what we know because there's been loans given and received on their 990 forms.
No, well,
or whatever their IRS forms are. I mean, it may not be a 990 form.
No, my work would never be uploaded before it is fully vetted and completed.
Okay. So none of that, so there's been nothing disclosed since November that she would know?
No. Okay. I haven't had any discussions with her. I meet with her every other week.
Okay. Well, I just want to thank you for that. Also, just wanted to reiterate the concerns that my colleague, Mr. Garbarino, had about the customer service issue. We still are receiving information about loans and other things that aren't being handled in an efficient and continuous manner. We hope that you will continue as the Inspector General to urge the administration to answer customer information complaints faster and more efficiently, as many people are out there waiting or haven't had loans processed for over a year. But again, I know my time is running out, but I appreciate your work in trying to get the correct information to the administration so SBA can work and function better for our communities and our small business community who are struggling through this pandemic. And I thank you, and my time's out, so I yield back my time.